شجاع شجاع بتصادق جاي شده current chief ولی آدو آدو شده جلانده آدو نخده مارلی نلاج نغا آدو جيرل استو آدو Elizabeth استو تانين كتانده ديتا الخيس تهدي الشجاع تهني تهدي تهي جاتو أياشتو أنا أدوت سله ليندا سستين دو بأنا كي بناخيكو أن كتان تهدي نيفاي شنالة أدو شنالة استانة ليلي تشيف بياجو أكو ده تسجين بغات بدشتش آدو أكو ده بياهو بمسانة يا verla city وديانده آدو أنالي يا verla Chief John وديانده Beverly Chief John وديه تونشة ده كودي اسكيدي كاتادي نني يا أطلو ده Black Mesa Bible Church أطلو إيساهو خزان كوي اسكيدي كا ديك أدمو ياجيكي أشلا يسكاسو نزنا دا الكيدو آده Darren Begay Cornelia Tallman Carol Bechego Bahaskin she Whitney's neto Auto Onlay yo isne de ya Shaya Paul hasna en le ade Badahwil she aden ha leto sodelsen do chin when dodly ado ku o you nasni hi ya no ado ani ya nke da des na ko amasane do anale do nastas li do sa do nastas li dan da bata ta hasa ko benena an hinik it that oh Jonna goshin da dilnis ado oyo alsan da kaigo ado nhila ka da kis ado nhila banda osi hoda da dilnis DJ do yiskau ado DJ dig at the mo bi gi ya Armando, I'm talking kwata skin day kato ya shisheba da hana igi ado yan do fata da tsin da do no ya shinala baganda shi da hojato yan do peso da deshnes antida nosen shinala baganda da hoja hobi ninjona do nhije da bakada leo ado ya dito si dal da no benena ya kut golche ya del ti do kut banda deni tas ya kut chedol kise ya benena ya sa an kitch de bin da si ta do shi danzen ado shi sa ya ho wado ho wado dan kinasto dan ado shije ya so Yos Kasi Nezna Kuna Epidishch Adon Nahas 8 Do Sistine Doba on Edatolie Nache Egypti Pitishinde Ado at Sapiage na Kigoyos Castle Dina Hegi it's the Huntitza. Nishe oh Hayu Bata husband oh yeah go it's up at Jen Huis now and lay
Yeah.
Raj oh Haholji Jen down what it's up at Jen this no got end yeah go go you this still ado go to legend Soiga ila ko shon besta shishama ado shita Billy ado Bishani Fi ado Bamaya Linda do Laura sto shtashi yahana kai yahanaza yasin es na kigoyos kasleda it's out the pizza ako
I don't even have it.
oh ade Benago Santa Hijis ko it's out the pizza Shea ade ahun hito geso it's out the pizza aro hehe da de dinis the banda hiso kaya da budget with this na da budget ayis kani ado budget with this no da ko ada banda hiso kaya ado danti zaje hehe dan kite dinis ado antene ada na hiso kaya ni Joshi ado he Sunday he did so kotao he nonly ko bama ado bena ado batsile bedeje ado bedeje del ado beche del biyaj asao ado tsada ya chine be nale be toke ado benale stosa ado ado nada ba as chine sto di o be holon hits on the ado be sto on abe belong hits on the handita 1995 and on hits on the handita but ma Lily Chief ado bena Paul Chief ado Batsilaki Carol do Roberta Abedeja Balchina Gerald do Elizabeth ado Marlene Hill ado Karen Zani ado Shi Londa Chief a on enaga Hije o you to danisto o but the netlini He yo yene blinde. But my cut na luan de sta quije ho wanda. Don la honda de he da ye de gonza go dan da de luan da de ho de. Da di do so da hitle. Si da o bes khata wahi do the beta bes you and do you go cut na luan de ho wanda da ne ho o da o ho wanda banana da an the show shinale bagani a ka lo da ho wan shinale ba alia do nana sa bisin Johnny na sauce it says it do yo a quije yoft lende quite the jim brande ye da ko ki go de lo ko na sauce it says it sa shanda da do ye ba da yo ne la ko ni ko carol ko hobet ni ko na sauce it says in yan ne sauce lende don sauce da adi is do yoft yo yene linde do Hielchen nas das idlio le oltra da hidi kao de jono da oltra nkete no je ko ape ikat yo you go da ila oltra den de kaigo iche da ila Masaya but you and then Masaya banana has come now sauce ba ita de no the dots is you ba you kaha des isla ko Karen Zani but Lana sombrero liao shi da handi da yasin es na kigo ya paso ida hits da handi so bitch si jin na sauce ka ila adini hayuigo do ben the swish da ultra de ho what the nashta ho ultra de ban se ya ko ben the khashne do sa do ba da hui do ba khanne dan de an hit an his be hos no an hit che hui ne se ko do ba da hanne igi an net ben na hashne de ben na sata do mischievous she had Jenny she sata hwe de la ho da ze ko ege da hi do ba hashne dan de do net sto shma do be de khosne dan de an hit an his be hosende shina do shitsele do shide ji ya je konche da de de ko hintra do you and go itlo nes khojon senden ko sa ho ea suggest dan de ea kede di das but no en kana wo den kede di das but no de ea na ne ka ho che han zi ho che che han zi ho ho do ho di za dan de ho ende kon hit si in tran hit si ha hun do de jen hin ding ni na hit si I see na johnny ye ka do ka no gesh logon gedid ni do shamal do I see na sa dik ad ni za dan den za ya I see nan ta do ni na ke do ku na no I see nan ta do kon gedin ni na sa的心跳一场ko don cha zil don cha是定你谁要in slow I see and that ne holoni hinna don sende kot ende do kot sada do shante di do eya hako ne di ni da she inche de sige hoko ne di ni do kodo na so she ya ashna ya do ikaila koda he
Jono neck etche the neck etche behind la ado shijaya ja ani yo bas khojon lande ne sel ado benashni gi ya late bahosna geht auch le hawade hawabe nishlagi at ot ena bat kin yaigi e kwagi sat le kwan dani tleo kushi na khaya da na kidamela ba sepi da z yol khala da ita da ja ni ka lo kwagi foundation ki dani tle oyo ita shi lo ala z Arthur Yazi das banat on lo yanda oyo shukan o da shilla da neske da nin da at ende kal wat ne ko e yo ba hesen adonal social kha ne negi lo e banashni le reader digest yo kha lande le kushi yo khala da yo banashni da le hot hal kha le ne Eugene Strada da zita yo banashni sadi hatsi da la ya hatsi go yo banashni alle yo bas thousand lande to reader digest da yo kha yeah that I remember he said information highway no internet IGI the 90s information highway no at lost so yeah I still remember that from him koyo banashni ado ideya altiso ideya be bahatishni I don't the bitchin see Kadan here. We wish we had gone over there to see him. But Nishin yo Balchina to that Balchina yo nin the Asham Behazin ye. But Yana Rahaki but he trapper le was dot Ashan be Behazin ye Balchina yo nin the Ishi be behan nito ado ado aron wata yoskalne dashi ato itla ato Otlanda ni tleda elo yo tla oyo iso tla benashni londe ya stade shijo John Jono chini khen halen sile koya iso ba deshne ke
Shijaya a yo ayo the quiet and then shouldn't have lost you. I call the hojon yaskita but then the ayo spells and so either that hiki yo it's not mission that do yo I see in the go haida is in the a call chini agents than da a I call it's hey Jakey it's it can't date Jahan that we follow him around. A call Ani I call not so serious kind that a comics store that he not so tigy your kind that although should there should there Cheryl a talk away away as a thought that's even not go I could kid not on that not on that ever has see Joe when state like yesterday should Jay not that Joe on says so a call Joe是在大致都是在也是no Benina是在他心中可都有I call another one then I eat up Janino to that niet le to niet dat le a call maar to ni je go to tai nos gaat niet le a call maar to ni za je dash til so hin niet le he always wanted us to talk Navajo all the time. He always says, God, the neck at your bahon that. I go. I should could could the heck go back this, Joe. Yes, yeah.
Shito iso hatesticho shije benashniki or bantes keso ella ani to bachi dande to hashke dande jo shito wali Alta another nihit this chinshilta ado wali ako she oyo that nihit nihije yaji that yo nihit dan linde she benashni ho ache she beltahan di logi bike ignashwole ado dit I da dashlnile ja honne dashlnile ado Jack sto hot au ani yo pero yo o ne ni hende jo ani anil sojo a balchene danid lenigi algelt ani na chanta kesende sto benashni ani ya Yego just no hatching altile. Ako alle enalt sosin tratan nihilnile. Joe, I don't know how to share a picture because I'm not only bad at talking Navajo publicly, is I have a picture on my phone. Is I'm also computer illiterate. Oops, wrong one. Anyway, he always had comics, so ako naltosin trashlnile. Ako nezna dat tebi dat shnachigo. Ako naltos o yune jale. Yin trashlnile. Wali in nant in le chinete. In ishi ta ishi. Anyway, hot out chaya benashnicho. Growing up on nido hashkeda do ad yo bahuind hot out chaya benashni she and a hotan hirande do hajota hit ida jo hot out you always have some regret jo banashta donde she jinsen la jo che winsen la jo ani halchena halle hodo a ho wa inna ajil ho yo you have too much to do, I guess. But lay rehab the satana da abanashta de to asata Karen Jabon ada nashta ada the nesele the jo shijaya je ate yo nashon it they're really loving and caring even tane yande adok chaya je bebenashni ki sto ya yo the ne hijya de le jo na wali wato the fancy name a Jack wali holie don't know binaja wali osie sa yesi bijiki names and that's in there the hot out ako the Nigeria de le that's it hotat in Ado Roberta do Carol do yo ya datlo le. So hot out benashni. Jo shiteje ke ya ani nantla jo hajet hot out the hantita ho. John ye la da kwa he kre le shije ani le besen job batlish ni or something like that. But cat go net that's all without us actually. Ko Johnny ye out ye Shinala ye sto o you bahane le and isi da queen za hasno ye nad ni ho ye hoskadne le. So Shinala bitch ya nasti bahane o how you got there.
Yate.
Oh, yate. Shana.
Iyo, so at for your hadisi. O ehani nani do what I remember Jack Anit he was he was quite but he's quite to let he's quite and waiting also. But if he wants to share something or he wants to ask for something, I don't know where he's at. Oh, but he's got that's how I remember him. He was quite but we have our own way how we remember him. I think Obenelni to I think in Nashkatia. I think the better is nicht alles anilsko. Aro Sinalasin so. Yego ye haolne bin ye kon. The Nashto ale bayatilki. Pedo is aro ila patahan sindas unzun sinso. Atten the neck is at this start or lessons and she conditionality. You hardly need or lesson ye. Conde History Conde just a nation de so. Late another decision. Creatas not know how the Christianity ayahat I believe it no. Satan or Samastata no is hat see and the ayo anashira. It also case see Ashta is what plant no although the night this kiddo. I guess in a way he was trying to witness to me, but he was just asking me questions in certain ways. Although he's squeezing it in there, although it's not his cell. And they bashes the heart, it got or he's it a shadow, his watches now, or chick Atlani, or bash. Shannon knows that the doesn't finish another, she can't trace was not that easy. Although it's not his session there, although. Say Yazoko, although
tradition slash yazit do tradition ko Paul das tradition so kon the joke kon the she kon the je ba da she don jonoshi ba da to she so ba ni pe ni khaya ta hot e shin do les medan je zi shin do les e shin bin ye it ole ba da she Joko is a peasant Freud or a scratcher. You can snuggle. Just can't one person can't take the whole thing, can't take the whole weight. Asabi Biajdo Kasi Dovigata, it does. What a conde a scratcher jato. Sadiat e basically that is cure. 80 Belzilo Benos Otas. Although as a Christian, she so Sheikh being a Christian called I seen Zanhajija ever since my dad passed on the Zabakado. A year later that's when that Arindastanos I Yastanos I Aro Church of Young Kidia. Just Chinabis, especially my wife. They are 81 us. Asasi Kenya, all our kids are on their own. But the only thing we depend on is the Word of God. We read the Word of God. Even though we go through a lot of trials, a lot of tribulation. Yembazarit Yabe Hainiz 80 day Benosit Ash Ot Misha. Somewhere in your point of your life, you'll understand, you'll see it. Bahus Nizi. Aida Ninja Rago E Behatri. You don't really see it, Nahanse. Hashinzan Selcom. There's a minute of Karen. Hashinzan Nahajisha Adenda. Hajua Leba Husnizi. Hachinda Halle. Ado Hotsoke Hanalke the Nata Hatli Adenda. Yegon and Naiba says the Kosna Halili. Cotate and the Bansic Chesale. They banted the kissing that it just slipped through your mind, slipped through your thoughts and what is it? But later on, the Adenda Hajaba was sneezing. So, this is what they were talking about. This is what they were saying. This is what my dad or my mom was saying. This is what he's talking about, what she was talking about. About your grandma, your Nully, your Jada, one of your elders. It's not, maybe it's your uncle, maybe it's one of your elder siblings. One of your cousins so that was Jet and he was quiet, but in a way he communicated in his own way. He expressed his love towards his relatives. But Kunde Eschin Shito the Naliketo of the talk kissing Hanel now. Fishing Asko. The Obas Chinda. Ishia Scoshin, he had all needles. I don't know. Jocon, his age or heart so Paul. Yacho, the Bazadi Yego. As the year, Jot Hot Ale, as the year, but so low, 80 year. it's such as unhalong. They just teach in Nashata. Hat Ada from the scripture that you know, just ka. Bahos nizi. Jot ego yish hadne. Joko. Just it's spiritual to me. The word of God is spiritual. Pero the so he is spirit. Everything that he made, he is spirit even now. So he gave us a gift.
Carol.
Join the meeting.
He gave us a gift called Jesus Christ. Since last I catch at the Yako. Han not it out of the Sahika. So at this point, and the way at the then not that no. There I see the Latraholjish. It's real close. Because at the point where we all have to make that decision, we have to make that decision our own. We can't be forced, or somebody can't hold our hand. Make that decision ourselves. Because the choice is us, the choice is yours. Because Jack Shayot, he made that choice. So, call Kunde. I need $20. Aro hitan snow skatsutosin. You nate. Aro Handa I thought also hitan snow. George show as relatives. Handa did what ego. You know, straight show. You know, English has other show. You know, she get that actually $8. Was love and was encouragement. So at LA, Jesus Christ is on. You can't kiss out of him Zadi or you hasn't. So today we're still here on earth. We have to make that choice ourselves. Nasi ka. We're examples. He was the example for us. What nasi kash niya. Aron yitsa hatzi. Aron nasot hegi. Nasot naila. Bebrata hanitzi. Consider our non Nahashin. What our Banayitas were the examples for our own kids. Fashion Hinesh, Chiniyaja. It all Mayajika.
Join the meeting.
It also Mayajikas, it also Yajikas, it all Shetaikas, it all. Chichikas, it was Sinalikas, what was in Satakis. It oga hatzi, ika, halit o asnila, jot was in Satakis or lesto. Jot ego, anhit zeit or ashin ego. No sati catoles, yata $100. What ego is. We're all the example for them. Koishi. Even Nashihat Eda Neta Nisha Yuzaba Hoshia. Hashit Ohatzi was Zaba Hochilia. Bao was in don't just what skins are. This is parents say one mission day, especially my dad. Aro Hatzi was upon some kiss. They had each things on mission day. So that the word of God teaches that way too. What on the Zapa at Hanosin? What no you actually call is Aro what is Yale Alonjano Sadi Bayat Yot Onjano the make it 18 show. Ayo an let you die out of church at I not a Hanash in Shaw should also see. I not a Hanash in Shaw. Jokashigi. Kushe Annie. Goshin shot a husband in the who is better husband, Tunaya the Hamilton. Called Jenny Sunday. Hashing be Chinia just see in the away see in the it's Aro, I shouldn't oh, inside chasing stolish. Just needs to see away. No, that's Chinyakon Anal wasn't there. Hat either non Nisha or hat either Nisha. Or even Nasota. Hat either inside chess oh, he got Ela. He got oh at the Schneider shot oh, that was easy. A court in non Nishan dish. The metal. The Yaban to the kiss of Meta his alpha. His elbow to the kiss. Nishan day. Call Nishan day call. Cause a shimmy a kaishin not it's not all hashit or none they like it or Yansita kiss. Even though you're from the same family. Aren't they asked? We have our own mind, we have our own thoughts, we have our own personality. Just from the same family, from the same parents, they need calm. We all have these different thoughts, or thoughts, different livelihood. Ara asati oh nankin, ille so, what in. She over on his called joke on the your aeon to the kiss. Joke Jack out another Miss Ancient Day called Con book that lady of star. At Ada book the yes time to go certain ones either young touches or Ada coat that you see. Really, I was reading this book on the top of a car. It make me think about this, make me think about life. What is it? So Elsie of this in called it the pandemic. Keeping the show you it makes me think about a lot too. Not all about just kiss. On the Joe share or do share into the dishes. No score. I don't think I live in a song. Shinale or shape. Here you go. Get that you don't. Shake the dog and the shadow. So like tree doors, this tree door. Such chin that on the living. And the bushy. And the mission. No, so is so called outside of the sea. You had to see it on the share for giving me the opportunity to speak. Love you guys and God bless you guys.
Thank you everybody for joining. Asata Solnegi, Pa Henson, Shaya Japa, Jack, Shaya, it's isn't that to Ako kwa shinala bogada nago benashni. Ado ani ayo bahojon de to ayo ben nice de ado ako je stop beho lon de ako chinaya je itani sende ado benashni ho aya ako shinali ka nalwon de to shibija Carol jo the be bahayanigi to aje inagi yo yehasende to hawan ilehigi to shanin igi to ayo besbehosende ako kota benashni de aro shishije to ayila Hashit au kota the neck echigo shije ayila da net do gane the benatish kedola highlight our shije elia the snow natish kinde shije do shije ayaje Johnny's beta has no I see it a koshi a quenched and there see it da Asian schlong a called da nashi han schlende jo and seasago koshi shijaya she betjana go she could out shije Dayila, Shijaya, Ako and they cut out a dashoji. Carletta Edo Janita. When somebody says Carletta, I'm like, what? Who's that calling me? Only people at work or other people say that to me. So somehow my uncle named me that, and to this day, that's my Navajo name. Aro hotata otat gon say ya otat hotata gon say ya ne da akoshich na nail in there naltos. He was my pen pal. And ani Shania information highway no cut out a his young there. So my uncle was pretty smart. He was my pen pal and he wrote to me all the time in college. I guess I never really shared that until recently when I was talking to Carla, that her dad used to write to me in college. Probably like after Carolyn passed away, I was a freshman in college and I remember receiving the news when I was a freshman in my dorm. And then about the next year, I think I wrote a letter to him expressing my condolences and I wasn't able to go back for Carolyn's funeral. Then after that time, he started writing to me and he wrote to me all the time. So I received a lot of letters from him. And I remember I was taking petroleum engineering. And in our letters, he would talk about like renewable energy and non-renewable energy. And he would talk about coal mining, how he's a coal miner. And I guess we just had a really good conversation via letters. And I could share a lot of things with him about college. And he was just really enjoyed just having that conversation about college. And I know he went to college, so maybe he enjoyed that part just through our conversation. So that's how I remember my uncle, that he was really inquisitive and really interested about learning. And he wrote a lot of letters to me, and I don't know what I did with those letters. You had to pause for a second, but so just to conclude, I just wanted to share that I really appreciated my uncle supporting me in college, and he's probably one of the only ones I could really share about my college experience, because it was really hard, and I didn't know I was gonna be able to make it. It was a really hard adjustment for me, and being there at a really hard institution and being able to share that with him was really special. And that he was there with me, with my whole family when I graduated. So that was really neat. So I know I started talking in English again, but but I was just wanted to share that while people's were thinking about what they're going to share. But that's how my uncle influenced me in my life, was that even though he was quiet, he was present in the way of communicating through his writings. And I really appreciated that he wrote me all those letters.
This is Dolores. I'm up here, St. Michael's, just kind of been thinking a lot about Jack. I also called Paul and one of the things that I remember about Jack is when, you know, I was really young, my sister Evelyn and I, we spent a lot of time with Shanala Esado, Shanala Hasti. They lived in the area where you guys live, not too far. And I remember my Shanal, they lived in a Hogan. Later, they had a house built further down where, oh gosh, I can't think of Lily's son's name. He lives with his family there now, but this is almost directly across the wash from my dad, where my dad and his family, my aunt and my sisters live. But he used to come visit. I must have been like 5 or 6 or even younger. I just can't, that I could never figure out how old I was when we started to stay a lot with my Nale. And Jack used to come over. The same way with Billy. I see them walking down the and this would be after we brought in the sheep, and it was always exciting to have them come visit, because it was just I don't know where my Nalahas team went during the day, but he seemed to be out somewhere. But I remember him as a real kind, real quiet, but very gentle. And Carletta brought out that he always had either hard candy or gum. And during the time I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of that. So that was always a treat because you saw him walking down Lady Gossa, you always knew that you were gonna get a treat as a young kid. But and 30 years as I grew, went off to school and doing other things, kind of all is not as only it's ina she became that. But I still saw here and there late always stopped to shake his hands and and he was always very nice, kind. And then he worked with my husband at the mine too. My husband's name's also Jack. So there was the two Jacks that, we sort of taught. And when we saw him, I know after he lost his wife, Carolyn, I saw him here and there. I think it hurt him a lot, so, he turned to the things that we discourage our kids to turn against. But I think they took him down to Phoenix and other places to help care for his grandkids. That's what I knew. I tried to stay sort of in touch and know where he was. And I think more recently, when Carla was going to Phoenix, I would tell her, say hello to my Jayaja for me, from Jack and I, but when I saw, when Carla told us that he wasn't well, he was going into hospice, Jack and I made it a point to get down there and spend just a little bit of time with him, because that's all that we were provided. We didn't really know what was wrong with him, and the nurse kind of scared us a little bit too when we went to visit. He couldn't really verbalize. But Jack and I, between my sister and Jack, we did make him laugh, just kind of talking about some of the old times. My husband was talking about, the work that they did together, and shared a couple of memories with him. And he smiled. I guess he wasn't able to really talk with us, but we had a chance to see him before he passed. But that's how I remember Jack and Jayaja. And when I saw the video that was put together, and he had that little kitten, and that was just really him, he was a very gentle person. And just the way he held the kitten, really told a story about him, the person that he was and the person that he is. So always. And but the visits, I remember the gentle, and I'm glad I did spend as much time with Shanala Asado, Shanala Hasti. They were older. And I remember we used to have a donkey. We would be out herding sheep on that, and we would pick on the donkey. Sometimes I think about it, you know, just going back. A lot of good memories. And later on, my mom took us and relocated us after my dad went through a divorce, and it kind of took us away from, I think, the nucleus of the family. But I tried to make an effort. I did go back and visit and say hello. I think while I'm here in Window Rock working, I see Wally often now and then. So I think he lives in Fort Defiance. But I just want to just say thank you to Carla for, you know, all that you've done for your father, and probably being the one to live there at home where he made his home, where he had his garden, and keeping that going. Lede ni ya da hashin sago alle benan tin da holon ishi na ha desla e nasi lehi gi yega ba Jensen Carla Akoko Aronana brothers and sisters she basanta are natra hineka jado shibido ati hashin sago yego benna Beshisa Hassan illa you know, last year we lost our mom. Ko for a period of time seemed to be wasn't what keeps you together. We kind of lost that. But I think as we learn to deal with it, you know, we come back. But in this case, you know, that's all part of life and part of adjustment and moving forward. But hat ishi nantina leheki e bejni la ado benas vanti a kohot abanses kes shikoto e be dan hitsil ashe dances kesko. You know, I do a lot of things. Shema aleyana agande yo de eshta atota. You know, a lot of things. Not kadada. I do a lot of that in my spare time. Hashi nilsogo be. Last Sunday, football Danil and during the last few years of her life, you know what, you know, those are things that we did with her that she learned to adjust, I guess, to those kinds of things that, you know, are part of life. And she igon shatbej to and blue corn mustache. And my little sister made fry bread. And we remembered Shema Benegni. And I think, Carla, those are the times that are very precious. And and sisters Rabasanta Ade. While they're all away working and doing things with their lives, and he'll become that central point. And so that's in Sabanta's case. And I think he would have liked that. He would. I believe in afterlife. Ishe Ashin Sago. Anhik itates nihima sando nihima. I don't know. We lost my brother too last year not in 2020, and in a short span of time, within 2.5 months, we lost my brother first, and then my brother-in-law, and then my mom later. But there are things that we did that brought strength. Ede benachahatzi lansan donana shmaya nido akuja ada nepenharat nini gid nepetsotazun ebi on hiya on lede dan hidi ejne okoko hashin sogo ati and Ashin be hatzil the power of prayer hatninigi okoko edeya akonsogo enashni I just wanted to share with everybody on the call. Carla, Shadeja Carletta, Otto Shadeja Paul, and your wife, and Otto, looks like my sisters were on the call. I don't know if they still are, Elsie and Fern, and then my brother Daniel Jr. Okoko. I guess death is part of life. It's part of the journey that we have here on earth. Ille Otto we'll go ahead and I'll come up on Friday and see how the setup is, and come as early as I can Saturday to make sure everything's set up. For coming together. I wasn't able to make a number of meetings. I know Shadeja Carletta had set up a meeting for Shabizha on Zoom just to offer her strength. I don't know if she's sitting anywhere near our Zoom, but I know she's hard of hearing. A call is she the Niyashin Dash, which I had this. Though, yeah. Also, thank you. Yeah.
All right. So thought this should Aroshanala Aroshade. Okon Hotahonis so yet Ado Jono Hatazito Bahila Ado She Adojo Besal Ishlada Adon the Shin not hard. Shade ya I see ya Jonon Balchin is Transom. Fantastic Ado Janshi Asahat under the Trassen the Dowley. But Zilo Ade Pedo نفاتشي إيشين دو أتخاشين زهانا نزتخان جول كداي يو خدات إسند دو جاي دو جوها وسند أنتينو دو أو أدكويد هجا هاتزيه إديا فدايق وخويل جهنالن أجا تو every day نهانا غادا أما إذا ساج كأهون كأشكا أني كو إيه يو بيت هني أما دو جاي يحكي شتي هتانيت إسنغي شد دوش نابل أجي خيجي كده شمهنا دوش جاي هتأسي تيد أبيك شدان تاج دو ينان هنز أيو بديلني تو أيو بتويلو ين دانسترا تو إن دان هنسكستاند شيء أدون نشط نسخستا أيون جاهي أتين دشت نو كيدو نصابنا شد أيو شاتات لهندش نادا كو أجاهت إند تو نهت نسكستو تو جاهت شكيداند أهجس أنت أبى أهلا أهجس أنت أهجس أهجس إن دولة طبعا تستوى إذا بنا تو أهجس بنا هديت أنا تستوى هجس كين بس أخذ إيجي ياد أتندد أيش دول أتود أهجس إن دولة كنت أخذ أندب نسخته أخذ يدالتيله أي إيش يلتقط أني يودسنا أدو إديت
Join the meeting.
كن زاغود أتيند أيده يا الله شما أدو شجعنا أتيز ديت أنا هلا نغيت إذا بانش ديت زاه كجو هت نهلا تو هت ليت هت نهلا جهنات نهلا أجد ده أي شيء بيناس هت زيلو بيناس شو قراله أي أدي هج سوزنا هلا أجان أدي دو كون ده هلا دو ده يندا نستها بجزون بناس ناجون تين خالشن أدو هتوكي أدو هنالكيا هتوكي دات ألتر بناس ناجون تين أدو أشياء دان نلزم لا أدو يا بكدا ديت أدو church go دون دي كدايسي أجد الله نحن دازلين دو أجود الله ياد إهب بناس أوداس أدو نهغاتات أدو سابنان دي زادة شادو فكك نهيادو
Join the meeting.
شادو شك تشوز إندا كو باش خرجو دو يو تاتيس كو للي شاد للي ده يا نبدش كده كوش ده يا يشتغل أو يو خشيد باي يا أنا بانجك خندنا أو هنا يا هنا أشتو هين سنتو يا خشيد هي ندل أشياني جوت لاشني أني خايدسني دوتات عنده هلا جوي أجي إستين بنانش يندال نشلشنا هالندو أدو نجنو ياشني نجى بعد أسه دو أدو أني شياج جاي يا أني أزاد أويت ناقن هالنده دو أبني يصل له نسلنده ويشدد خما شدد ويا هيد ويا توندا وله خارج ديال تحس دات أولي et analoha honsen de adot ani khashe ya Carletta dashen and yobis morn de no ya khashe ya to I think that the ship it's ado so that Shalchen Bizria Herman no stile hashed Jack dashen de no the another unhidden hilwil now the is tia but is tia say yeah he's a real smart man or ya had the late out at the donas now cut on so yeah but the kids on no yeah so I guess I think he was a really smart man hashid yeah Chuyos in doi and this balchin the she but not she balchin is the what smart or you know she yen old cut not the do not the although she watch it but so get out and us non catholic do what that's on so although not the cado although akon hit that ben hayata ho toshin in jono tahila hot in hayata ho although shashna ho betishin here ade echt da host en ha lobage na hito jen here so that anlet not the cado that nan kadon lo na that na just up trajda to hal ke ota na skad hot an ya ta ho adon zel in the hit is chinda akon ana mazbi odn dan hit is but the schnabel da hasna an ye go ya shadid openash ada da here is out let tund or button push it down and hello but the house here's our Srila hello nan hello and all on here on bitani hello on boarding school in the double granic actually del to aden dan hit is do hashed added any tani krit but the schnabel التحشنا أروت أني يا تو نجكو ناش وشين ده خجوت شجعتو شماتوش شنال شماسان دات إن هلاج ينازلنا كود خجوت ونين تنزون شيء كود يتويت أن الأوج هيكها أروتيت أبينا Panada hitiyo aro nihe kodan nana liya nahala ako shina son jono sheya ne jen hala nan zunit ego sheya nas chukone ne chukonas inana de nas eto jo ich da noch lindo und jono go da hin noch hindo you da hin hot yan jono nas na catholic anlet ajgo adl hot ya ba den trahle da nan adole eben nas go ye jonas dist edorling hatni she yaj probably had it you can change the past Nash kone nejugo sachugo sahot daily sapatanosa niki ani hot hajo yego yat hushato yat hushalchin stole tani tno hot adi ni kha ado yo ta jotni do yo nin snapchino hot an jono ben astro isle Ado od lanche ya ICA go ya ben da no tindo ben si tunjudani kada jis nana da hojish od yeda hatsi ho kwet ob engine do gido ya shonda do biata ako ado jono ya plan da slegi ston ishin ston jono sa oni sto ado she jina to ovni ya chotus nan she sol dole to ado alton adno altishno et ya ishin behje na hot halle hot inde ba joli do ide ba hasta jean she khoe do sa do ni sa chun de ado huizun zan go ya jono sa it ande Jean to dan la ado khatchi da abin dan de tigin ya hi ha hu los ede ya ado ka bza bigi do sa ba hot ayen na ji alti beden git no shon ni go hot ego ba bza bigi den na ji ati ako Aher shada so to ado wat ego yan michil ban kesto anin haje das alla hot ahishi yo nego ya to bje dol tsa ani to hote tsa hishin hat ana ka I said ba hanne do na gest hodan dat na to ado tata I said halet hotza da jin na halan ani konde digine bana jotlo ya na shona hund it onas na jota le eben na ede ya pata in lido gabza do ya de nostra ado jono she ya ado na je a cheda nal jilno ishe kani don hot it gap li han jota ado is kan the more ya je ko she ya at least ya isn't ya Naturally, they get your honor. Hot egot hot arshiben yest that deal. When so action doshan aldo here, ado hot
Oh, yeah, Shanala.
Yeah, schneller. Und jetzt ein sie.
Heute jetzt da ist schön anders sie und sagen.
Oh.
Die Alta do Bessie do Annie die halt auch. Ja, nicht in Himalaya long better nils the Billy do Jet do and key it others claiming lad is it maybe 83 go 8 alta is yards nisa hot out it's me other pure hot nisa nana Bessie a Billy she yards nana Annie a Jet. So even the and Carla, your grandma is talking to you. It as alone Jayan section a cohort. I think they have a special interest in them. They used to talk together and say, "It's just what no yes, she hasn't the Alta Bessie and Annie." Ako even in Hinale, I should appreciate that sound on the list.
at esitteese toopet hiitsi osatsildor sinarkiisteese saata forsumatanerluniki aade quat sitteese sulusun atiilliillullu u naarsalli toottaassuniilu ko aroon ta ei konsulna as. He was a simple man, very humble, and the talents that he had to kunzasni tratadiya to yegunatnist. It's okay. A chase ledo and nale. But as twi he was very skilled not to ban. And one thing I remember was Twili what they left dirt hokan they left sanyas that they left okay naga. And come to find out that he was highly skilled. Skidas twi Sunday skate some bed now. That's a lost skill. But he was one of the few that knew how to do that. Akoshi yada di nikhe o shikish net artisko to the zaniki it is sleep Shriyan God ya shun loni konti na aninki ko nije je chief ne chi ne nal nlon konde ne khania arokon betsiske dilieki ne nasponan ya asho chokhne akon eya anatsa okokonde palchin so kebinal pensakes beje dastel babeln da hadishum aron da shman le konde bewe biyajen le kon bakana le go na she's bekli haneji o tobekli haneka she's mabelno aron da ilkhaji lebekis blakhi ilkada ahit no kudet no ji kone nasna gai bitsado etahil don ntedekis konde nilcha ara llada becha o zio ara llada nhinalelia bitsado ekida ditra kon khejed o sit enle and konde kitten in de beschonlon inan lenigi konde kuje ehut a yilla aro yad inla kon nasta kai na gai alsko konde inben hodni khanat ahto kon chitra ya ashun loni konde Niknaden in oles kodo. Ikke henandish in oles chitra ya on loan. In Jesus' name, amen.
Hi, this is Karen Zonning. Jack's oldest daughter, and I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that's been in the meeting every day since this started. I know that Muzz and I haven't been available by phone or through the Zoom meetings, but we were taking care of some of the other stuff in Phoenix that needed to get taken care of. But we are here now in Black Mesa at my Nolly's house, and I know that there's probably a lot of questions regarding how my dad passed away. So I just wanted to let everybody know that he started to have health problems in October. And a lot of it was primarily due to his thyroidism. He was taking medication for a long time, and it affected his liver, along with, past recreational use of alcohol. It contributed to that, but his liver was not doing so well. But ultimately, in the end, it wasn't, the liver that took him from us. It was respiratory failure. He had pneumonia in both lungs. He was in and out of the hospital since the beginning of October. He was in ICU for a little bit, and then ended up in regular rehab the first time. And then he started to have issues, GI issues, and they were trying to figure out where he was bleeding internally from. They never really figured it out. So then, he ended up in the ICU at that point. And then after that, he had more, medically needed more help. So he ended up at an acute rehab center the beginning of December. And there he was supposed to be released to us December 28th, and that was the day he started to show respiratory failure. And this particular facility did not listen to our concerns for my dad. So by the time they had realized it, it was too late. So, and that's how it happened. So my dad, ultimately, had pneumonia in both lungs, and it was respiratory failure in the end. Karen Stani, Jachi, Lodge, Gina and Kitty Lord, Schnellaband, Gatten, Dicey, Tardishna. Neither Bahwashnegi, Sashi, Ani, Hashit Arjatan, and the song. Night the kid the hollow. The Kaya dog home. A besh behind a door, a Hindi call door, who need Ashta Shirlodge and Ashani Dosh Deji Kedonarani. Lay host dot Aya Nanish Ada Hodlo. The Aya Shija Benal yet door. Alla at the Ada Hodlo, Nanish Beta Diti, Bonnet Ash. O Kodina and Danny Lord. The Aya or Joba Jodish Ahanson a Shija a Denigi height of the Igishi Joba Deshni Aya the her the city does yet thyroid is no Aya after Donald stuff. Big Donald the show, Hojo or not the show. At the question nachai Allah nachai is it yail defne ko a benaya is it jilde so di ha chash as ya hos ad nabat ni hinde hot and a is it in the lana dahagi bane jihne ko a the chash as ba ta hos ko a she asketa Atlanigi is so eight abasta kaha. Benina adeni de Yahanata Hoyandi Sadi Raj Yenda. But the initial the first Friday the initial to the large a kunna the Sayahia.
Join the meeting.
Allah a kanda or your heart the haya. So a son those tweeba the hayaniki a yanda. Naj the daughter for her go wet or hiki hot out the haya. A the sedan although the deal that's a high she this other hat no. A hunana zago benina. Is it angel Nana dana ikita ICU jo kata be na kita mo zing beta ye oltio. Ade na di so satrago yahanana dana ade the kashmishigi the has the digi kashmish be in the atlehiki. Ajo Yahiyane ade the Nedo Sani Dojo ba the Haya the Lago ba the Honiti. Nading Tebigo Yos Castle how I go in hit a bet doll hit that no how she how what the Huilia. And they need lean ado aperture the Tahani going his arm. Ako the oil del costo nahitit hiki oil besnant anhalnach no so is inito ba tahalyaniki to dan hisa ako the more yajigo neo and hot ashijo hon gadley is ingo bestahat dili the hon not that they kist no a crochet ho do bestahat dili the betahne ya a ko ad I da chehetes o ado such a go ho no ajo yahana but this you have not but all bars or ado o the non-stuff. Ako bis kano he's at the hunchty and ando big ichigo. Ako tao shajan the jena hodio raj in that the hoste digat got the hohodza. Ojo ban hodeshn so ado here than his deshnis are not that he can't jahiki to Giando total choshita Atlanita Aegean be da kahakito o Shinalabanda kahakita a da be o be ha olnehiki benia ado beso so ishe aba heta isn't Shea to a basata da shiteje yasata joshi beta husband a crochet o a head done his deshni so a koto hasti a head yeah the audition
Yeah.
Ash.
Oh,
that's it. Ash.
Oh, what did that?
So yeah, on Sanada Sosli or not as an Anki. She yet or Yan, but behind on where a told Leslie the behind oh about this since in the Asian fit out of I don't I don't I see other holes. Should all can invitation home beyond the Hojahaki do Beso Dashinsa be Kata slot the home Shalchin Shnabalchin the cow J do adult you but on show what hold just got Ani Hinende a stoit not only on us or now on the Hashidea. What are they? Yat etole so Ani shell to snow function in the other Pania to just yours. She had the hot to part in the o. She is your days that additional to the like edition. You should be actually your tongue. ado hot ado o katen do katen beton di sta ho di kre ita de ya ado ker banani krege hosh heko hot
Join the meeting.
방했는데 아도 혼내다 오셰 어쩌듯은 셰 어tlân 신도 단나사 인가 받은 시장 호에 에이데 베시딜 아도 누웠다 또 신나사 나자 또 하다 무슨 마시 존레 chen 단니 클린데 시단 야도 아호 심어방 난 신다티오 아헛 야다호 도시 아버틀테 나시 아시 close 나로 베슬라니 카틀레 하던 세크레트도 링다 힌트라 시케로 칠센 시카도 시케도 링 링빌로 아도 난 카틀레 Adon dan rigid definition rigid agitation. The delta that a high topan that ahin that sian dan agi tranalen shinde ado sachonana za legend hata gedej agi nanalmish. Le rigid legend ik 아주 단히와는 오호야 아주 다대신ሽ 아돈레 야고 커디스 본베종 하신자신 다즈게 되고야 고 아드나는쇼 레진이 카이에 나는쇼 고 치데보이디스 안데시스노 버치다 hazling 나는시기 비트안데시 데서 hazling Chitip nidi beit ado ho hashi treshe yan atlan so anda del tahsheo non skado ne hoya kon ho chidel sabol ashlo gat kret hanta ado di da na likidi do na loida do بسندل تخليدا يا دكاس كنديل تخليدا يا دايش الخلنا أنا وجل إنه هذا شلت خبيل وده تسيو شلنا تسجش تحتيه شيطاني يا لا دوي بوه تيل أسيد أشدوني ده هو ده يو على إيش هالين ده لانسن وادو أخطأ بنهوش أبنهوش أشلون بنهوش أنا دو يوناس مثلا إيداي دو كديا دو نمطلعين دالبا إيداي أو تحل كيري تلاش بسنزل تخلص بالخارج تخلص تهدي لو أكو يونانطلع بوهول أنا لينا نشوف بس لانشت أشعاد أدو نات أنجو شان نسمع سويو جو بين شلينا دشنا أدو نات أنشان نسمع أدو هو تشلنا لو أدو هاشينا لبا هو دات نادو تكخشينا نسمع سوي كويدو بنشنيتا أو خش ناس أو يغن ناس نسمع أدو هيدا زازو يا سويدي تانا تاسماس ناشط نو ادو ناشنت ناتشيل إيشان شلون ادو هجيل إن شلون ناشنت ادو دي تيون هلو لوله دو ناجا هدا بوش جهل أدو هتقلن لا حتى أنا هالوي دو تا تزاي تهيات الجهدو يجو لولا تشدو نهجا أدو أنا تينا دو أبوش كيجي Hatane da lo eben at Julianle. Det tjunge hos Elierin el trojen the coalition na be benashin do the creation. Da benashin do dan kanen. Da the benashin. Ado Charlton je na down. That is just so that just Leroy dan the way long. Do saya halian le taiki so betlano shkane. O chdi sita chne ya halian le jo. Chindo yo betliate ne. O donde yo no banan shasne do shlida. O ya halian le. Ado na le pa ho da islan shike ho. Zijn gaan twee dagen zo te de biset dan nog zo veel straks daar. Maar weer bij gewoon dat het en het is niet schmoda. Ik had situatie bij de naschen. Ik had je pas en Nederland. Ado ik Shishi went slash the chong hashin zahos shit a more that's it. Not that chen days dohna. Oh quite a benishni the bed as that show quite the bed had the on that you can lay down the chin that you could order this go wait go Wait for the dinner but you know that is so Joanna kina hede shilal mara kita ko ishin thought so that is no ko shebe nashni da jet ich frage da wenn es nicht an der Nashina nicht satisfaction an das ist Leger team this is Ita and Welsh no be exotion quite benation. Quite a benation. Ado Leslie da yo na piende le clean sabel tune na piende yo na que do hajon. The queen clean is not scared so. Clean is not scared that le Ado bekenden då låt nå ado skene där ado sin satti låt sin sai då ino lajuna yo en le teko ken khato låt då sen jone silte då I kan nan skilin kan stas lange en strand Kanesta. Koe hota pepe nashni.
Join the meeting.
Ado and ado shmata bestan notlone ba hensin shmai shiaj. Shne ado shatida ondeni. Ado Nhalchen da holon je dan die zaki da shibetan hitil do church voto nan det esne skitan nalle dan nog zien dan don hito Asian betal ni shin tin bezat ben dan die ga da bia na hito kha ajo de an halanan don halchen do Man net ingi pansita kes. Do de hot ho benjen de si koteto.
She that's it got hard see.
Ja, das ist doch 2 Jahre.
Oh,
Så då där sitt åt så var det som är Jack. Att det nada bara sig att det allt behålla hade att åsan ja nu hade chat hade ja dan den chatte på det snow and I left det and det hade annat ännu to introduce gilda då att det hasli Kota bebenasni andlede beasasi ado adanen git ado haltrata quite personal nadane hot ende odo hitlota khata hera qadik atalina that don't say much in that hot bas no ade hodris course فهاد ايات بنشاخت السيتي اشيكه ناكيكو السيسي وشين تحتي الشنيازن لون بما أتن كنت بجيشين اكس اكري كنت أشي كيازي كشي بزيد أو أطلع يا ناغار أو دو جو بآخر يا شين هتا بتس أو شين تبتينل they put them at different home كون ناس خد التشيجو بغان تتحزلين أو ناس خد التشيجو شين psychiatrist نبتكس كتنا ده أساقط خاتريتن ده أزاد they live in different life, different kind of life. تلاقي بعشن خدنوجن أو يجو بعشن شينين كنت أو نجونو بغن تلاقي أو تلاني سلينجن إيه كو إيه Asian been now, Asian been now, she's psychiatrist, but not a kid. Why did you turn out the way you did with the Asian Balchin Holona? Why not? My dad was nothing but a drunk. Nichen. I don't like she so now, but now the answer now you class. Why not? My dad was nothing but drunk. Up to individual how they choose life. In Hilik and Aslat. My dad used to drink a lot. I did some, but I could end the Nasrat Deshiro to Nezri at all. To say at Eta. They choose not to be like their dad. Nana say abizet agita. Akut ashinte ya. If you go on hot no. If you got the horse and that don't know how to hand the bachelor. This is Jonas Kende. Is only a way to stop a nation. At the says, not that at the words are with that. She not in the Shoness on the nation. ko e sisenga pepenasne yo ki traholnel kila to laigo yaltsidante o annallikinas onvikkeha ade innahaki inti lassalni azatos yaltsidante o nas onbenase I learned to live how to make a living. I support myself. And lean and clean and she's about 6 and a half. I don't know scrat. No, I don't know that this is nothing's free and I think and just out list up again and it's a lanso. Even now, she not at all. Or ade holsis. Because I got asking his not na ya to be hapan chokes. But I koto the pa in naja. I is one late care of the spanate as then later means. Ko sabanit ay not a hospital sa ato akweta tingi baza tapen quotation ta se competition de a konela to e khoti ayat hatsi that oh I can hear him ato he not a khotini ato tingi baza pe question de is khoko khit abansen casting and other bad dit aspects de openla so he did to that did ya hotza that solente and his death the question is not the sugende stop the question is not the nana shaza and is it out and saying that she just wanted to hear height I she's not hot on him so it hakwashitini the ibis question now she rededicated her life before she went. I believe that's what Jack did. I see. But since you know, I am Texas and Lana. You see, you're not seeing what I am Texas. I see that my husband, I thought he was intelligent. I knew what the back when he think. Yeah, because what I was now is 1,000 on Zonia. Na kidabana did na kid anana. As you know, was not wishing that over to notice and I know that he's without a doubt that he's in heaven. You what you had not and then he's thinking that he's watching what I thought you had case. And so yeah, has all open his artist, his open to that. His yon shot named there I don't want you to receive Jesus into your life, each one of you. Oh, what ensign, oh, what abattotism, on the hatotism, the atlasin. You should Monday, to end up, it's end day, you should, Shamayas and of course, you should chuck catching that announcement or should shade.
Join the meeting.
What social benefits at this to John was she bad that it means idea that up and the year go has your bad that it means a seat a see go share all this. Thank you.
Only one that is in a origin. Only also doesn't be any origin. Coho.
Join the meeting.
She question and two that any building deck securely. I don't know photo. Action and Lenny suggested the actually in that section to really one side go okay do yeah weapon so yeah but I not seen I see it
I'll go ahead and say something. I don't know if I can hold it together, but I think just going back, I remember I think it was part of my life ever since I was growing up, from getting off the bus, getting off there at my my nullies, being with my sisters, stopping by my dad's place there at the Hogan. I mean, remembering that, and we used to stop there, and he would ask if we were hungry, if we wanted something to eat, or if we wanted any candy or any sort of junk food. And then spending the summers there. Remember herding sheep and stopping by there. He'd be there. And then just growing up, when he moved down to Phoenix, also lived there off of 19th Avenue with him for a while. Moved out, and then he lived there off of Bell Road to visit him. And then also in Avondale when they lived out there, and then also where they're at now. And I think I'll probably miss our talks, our visits. Maybe we talked about fishing, hunting, guns, even reloading. I think just about anything and everything. Remember him with the reading the Arizona Republic, or watching the Suns play, or any kind of sports. It's kind of hang out with him in the room, just talking to him. I mean, he had a lot to say once he sat down. I called him a couple times on his cell phone. I mean, that he didn't really like talking through that, and he'd rather sit at the table or sit by him and talk face to face. I mean, just politics, sports, and I think the best memory I have was just looking at the Walt ads. He used to say, "Hey son, you want to take a look at this?" And, I mean, I think just throughout the years too, just giving each other names, nicknames. I think the last names we gave each other was Iron Man. Yeah, I'm good now. Someone can talk. I'll go ahead and share a story or what I remember about Pops with Sam here. When we'd butcher, we'd invite him over. He'd come over and he'd sit there and he'd joke with my dad. They have their stories and they joke with one another, and they're good at giving their grandkids nicknames, and they're really good with impressions, and they tell their stories and take on the role of the person, and they'd be all lively and joking and and it was just fun to be around them and just hear them laugh and tell their stories about growing up and the things they did. And it had to have been maybe, I don't know, I'd say 2 months after my pops passed. And we went and visited Nana. We were there, and it just so happened that Jack was there. And his voice and my pops' voice, they're almost identical. And he was sitting around the corner on the couch, and all the kids walked in or giving Nana hugs and everything, and he said something, and then Selena's kids and Rachel's son, they're all Che. They ran around the corner, they're climbing on him, climbing all over him, giving him hugs, and he was just talking to them, and they were super happy. And when I missed my pops, you talk to him, you hear his voice. You know, it's like my dad's voice. And it's like, everything's okay. My pops is here. You talk to him. He was always happy, and despite things in life, he always had a smile on his face. And I remember we went and visited Karen one time, and then we went in there, and he's all tired. I guess he went to the day labor, and then I guess he got his assignment for the day, and they were demoing a wall of some sort, and they gave him a sledgehammer and a job that's supposed to take him all week. He got done in a day. He's all tired, and Karen's all, he's a crazy guy. His boss is all freaked out on him, how much work he got done in that short amount of time.
And it's just kind of that work ethic that we were brought up with, and you know, those teachings that our fathers shared with us. Those were memories I have of them, always smiling and always there to embrace you. That's the stories I like to share. Thank you.
Sure, I'll share a story. In the summertime, spring break, and every time I had a break, even though sometimes on the weekends, we would always be at my Nolly's house. And then, but we would always visit, like every time we got off the bus, we would always stop by my Uncle Jack's house in Carolyn. And then Carolyn would always be cooking. Jack would be sitting at the table reading the newspaper, his Reader Digest, or his Archie books, or his Betty and Veronica book. He'll just find something. He was always sitting there reading. And I always remember he would always have a Snickers bar ready for us when we came. So every time we stopped by, he would always give us a candy or something as we made our way to my Nolly's house. and every time we stopped by there, he always had something for us. And I remember one time when we stopped by there, he gave me a food stamp to go buy something. And I was so happy that I got money and I saved it. And then when I got home back to my mom and dad's place, my dad got really mad at me. He's like, "Why are you taking your money from your uncle?" And I said, "Oh, he gave it to me because I was being a good listener." And then to this day, I still have that food stamp that he gave me. And I don't know, it's like no matter what little he had, he was always giving. He always had that giving heart. He was always there to encourage us. And then my cousins, Karen and Carla, they told me, "You should join cross country." And I never ran a day in my life. I didn't care to run. And then when I visit my Uncle Jack, I was telling him, "I might join cross country." And then he's like, "You should do it. You should do it." And then when I told my dad, he just kind of looked at me and he said, "Are you sure you're going to join cross country?" I said, "Yeah, I want to join cross country." And then my dad was a little hesitant on buying me shoes because he didn't think I would finish the season. But my Uncle Jack believed in me, and he said, "You can do it. You can do it." Every day at practice, I would come home and I'm like, "Oh, we ran today. I don't even want to run." And I don't know why I joined cross country. And then 2 weeks into it, I wanted to give up. I want to be like, I don't want to run anymore. It's too boring. I don't like to run. But then my Uncle Jack was there. He's like, "You can do it. Stick with it." And he was always there to encourage us, no matter how small or anything. He was always there. And like what Sam said, when he passed away, I would try to hear. I would like want to hear my dad, so I would like try to call my Uncle Jack or visit him, so we could hear his voice. And him and my dad they were both Jawi, so our kids have crazy nicknames because they didn't always have the greatest ears. So our kids always ask us, "Where did you get our nickname?" And I said, "It was your Che who gave you your nickname." And so that's what I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna miss just his encouragement, his giving heart, just being there just to listen to. And yeah, it was really hard for me to hear that he didn't do so well. And one of my regret was not visiting him. And that day he passed away, I was telling my sister, "We should go visit Uncle now." And then she's like, "I have to get back to Farmington." And then I was telling Melvin, "I should just take all the kids and load them up and go visit their che. And that was kind of one of my regrets not going. I should have just loaded my kids up and just took them down. But I'm glad that he was part of my life. And just glad that he was there for like being like a second dad to us. I was very fortunate to spend a lot of my childhood with him, just watching him. And then I would always tell my mom and my dad would say, no, you can only have 2 cats. And I would always say, my Uncle Jack has over 100 cats. We can have over 100 cats too. And they would always say, well, your Uncle Jack has more space for your cats. And so I would always try to get at least 2 cats, but my mom and dad didn't like it, and they limited me to 1 cat. And that's something else I always remembered. When we pulled up to the Hogan, we pull up and out of the cinder block, all the cats would scatter about. And he gave me a cat, a black cat, and I named it Bobby. And we had that cat for the longest time. And I think that's where my love of cats came. And I just want to encourage my sisters. I know it's hard of losing a parent. Just hang in there. Just remember all the memories. And the hardest part is when your children, the grandchildren, ask about their che. It's just hard. It's hard to explain to them. And I'm just pray for the grandkids, because I know it hits them the hardest. And I just thankful that he was part of my life growing up. Even as I got older, he was there to ask how we were doing. He was always there for encouragement. And now my kids ask me for a cat, and I always say no to them. So I guess I have to think about getting them a cat. That's it.
Yeah, good evening today, Daniel.
Yeah, it's Shana.
Oh, yeah, are the house neido. Kada so kidi. Oh. Today, keto. Seleke. Dos jayal Paul. Dos Mayer. Dos Pije. Asana. So could you be keto? Inai lai pesitiliagi to hatasil litiki. Ato twist lila wahne nation. But I remember a lot of things that he was was a carpenter. Dot ashro ilson. Asqui hoade lehta ne quetrana gapa sassido dande. Ashkinat sandat keki. Do e humdi puro the has negita. E quetra. Ginard nisho. I was really impressed. He was highly skilled. That's a trait that's gone. The other evening, he was a lumberjack. He was a tchilea. Aro chisda or fence posts. So, Kachito Tayaho Sunday. What Sun has el neho bedor nessa. I picked him up numerous times on his way home, or Hagoda at Sekasata late I picked him up. Can't ask for the snow. I don't know. He never really talked much about himself. One thing I remember was he knew me as Herman. Yeah, the Herman. Daniel Benali Jr. go ibe shida son alkinazi she cared and strong say Herman on she now I was surprised he knew me. So I've been on I've been he had his own mind. And he was a very humble man. So he's always had a smile. If you see him on the road walking, he had a smile on his face. He was hitching home, he had a smile on his face. But if you just see him, somewhere, maybe at Bashers or somewhere else. So he knew about life. When his aunt ate the lead or the penalty, clean away to Tabanana Shigila. Oh, not Nintendo responsibility. It's on Nadila. I should very been of an estran. What echo. I rush a day to kill on Senid on Hashin. It's all cat and Nalike. It's you better, I know Snido. Come, once on it all, the bear and that and the things he did. Made firewood for other people, fence posts, this and that. That's what he reminds me of. That's what he did. If he got paid for it or not, he was just there to help and, be with family. So that's just the kind of guy he was and how I remember him. So he had his own mind. He went where he wanted to go and what he wanted to do. So Lanshi, it's on over the house on though. Yen hit a Z. Who not so bad on it. You're catching out of she, we are honest. We shall see him again. He's there with all others who left before him. She's not asked for the sneak of net of she say as Beto, Herman must. So so today the kid on Senido, whatever Fiji, she is at my cousins around the. She say as Paul around the. Chita Amos hot echo aro today kalera kodo tinanihin ishon khaba khaliyaron hot neki she English ko shabana hatil nito yo kana kachis kida. So ere ya hun so this son hakoshi
Shanala ekote bagate hadne. Washi shanala.
ako hotita ko apenina ikiko. Anina yakweti hotita apenina ko eti. Eki kaita ko hot ana hatfa. Wojit edan leifin stan aden. Has tatsoke ba hotelian aden eya atastan kodo ya shawada koshi na fayada aja ke juya. Ada fans sada. De kotita no kodo koni kai. Ni ale shanal bas. Nera ni didi eta donji na gazali no aden ada stelo hot ego hoji. Aga teacher ya kon hot teacher ki ko kanige kana ite pa hot pa da hon ida le sa ingo asa da satan le da shata sa ko ananda eshi atar naligi atsisa hashat atar naligi ya ede fahimik kadaya papa kon ikhay atendon da sankin sesi anda çıkasa da hon bahar ana ede hot aya ya fa saçne Allah sıkata ya tapan enno ya asata onlar sesi anda çıkasa ana kuzina fayda ay Allah çile çok hayda hada hıtsana aşağıda değil falan çıkasa Hadi şimdi hadi şöyle ebenin ya koyat ana hesita tusu geht o lere hasas edorme no ebeniye konun hata iste ana şada nada has kada şartından lemegin eve koya hani nasi katya da skida das ahi katkanil ayda koyuyorum hot ay hasakay beni kecap şeyde nasıl da konu yükseğe sakay Şey kadar o işte nasıl gidiyor ya öyle ya beni ya onu da fikray efendim eşi ha tam bir yer kadar nasıl onu nasıl fena hatırda Ana yaşına da sahanına ilişkiden da şütlerini hatırda Ada şunlarla hoşa da hakkı Hoje Gina hoje se pensa sulle Ada si fasi iskanda na kiskanda atsasigi nasıl honanne nahora gidiyor kasaba Eşi işte ya çiçeğe de ona beni çiçeğe şey koyar Ele ovejas todos están ya skide. Ada jag känns att alla för det vidare. Känner jag har det att ni smala. Ada ni kvar ligger då. Att han inte går man sig kan man det jag bara så. Ada ni que tu estés la negrita. هذا زيتو يضف إذا أخذ أي أغطيها الزيتو ليه إيش يقول قرينا شيء كمان ليه نكيس كذا أنت هذا هو جينا نشتغل له شيء أجل هذا هيجين هذا تصاب إيشين هيكان هذا شيء ده سيتو تصدق تصلي شو أنا شيء ده ونش هذا أوه جسد هذا شيء تو يشلو هذا شأن ولا إذا تأكل زبادة كيد إذا كمان إذا يكون واسع بسنتيان فإنه هو شيء تحس كهذا تبغى إذا شنيا كيد هذا شيء يكون لا تسكيكشي أن هي كان نشوتشه لا تدات وحنا أجد تسكيكوت أجد أوش إيش نلدي تات تيتا كون يسكيت إيش نلدات أنا نقول إيه نضع حاجة بعض حاجة ده إيه هذا هذا إيه هذا ده ده جنة ده نكون دباهنا وياه فسيعيدا فهصلنا دباكي نظن شهود أشياء الليلة فأتني في هذا كان أتني ويا خليهم هذا أنا يتفهم هذا شن باخذ تبين وش بس بتاعش إشتو نتاعك هذا ناتي إيش هذا أصدقائي باخذ تبين هذا إذا هذا شيء وإني هو إيش هو إيش وأتشن ذات أنا خلي ولا هو ماشي اللي إذا تشوفين وشنا كشتو ضحيت لنا قامنا كشتو واسي كان صادو اللي هذا شيء يجي أنا تكسي هذا
كده
القراية هي تنتهي الله جعل شكاية بيتة لهم وخاطر إذا دبعت وكهم وبتلزم شنو الله أي تشكيل السنية ما خاطر ولا إيش ستة خايف تنطاز تاويت تسلم الجنة شنيان تاسيسكي هو تعال شنيان ياخذ ينجوانا أجي هو تصك كذا هو شيء تسلم الجنة هو تيجا هو تعصب ستة تسكواجي هو كائنات كذا تسكيا تسلم شنيان هذا يريد إن شيئا دوات هلو دندي صوتيات إحنا قادة دوات إذا بتجل أقفل هذا هذا أتولي دوت ويون جواني دي أتوقع خاطشن وتنجو خيلي كيا كيس كيا شنو هتلي هذا أنا إسهاد أيام دهيتس نخانج كهرية هو إذا نجلين ده هاتشي لا أسرع ولا هاتشي دون هات هلا دون هاتشين ده كتشي إذا من هاتشين بعد تشوفه
Join the meeting.
هذا إذا نجلين خطيزة هذه هي بنينا خطيزة شهلا إيش هذي قطيس كونت أنا كونت عشان ليلة كوشين نصير خلا هو بالإيه هو حسي اللي شايليه أنا شايلته هذه شغلة ما تحسي اللي شده الصهر اللي هذا ما هذا خايف
Oh, I just want to say a few things, a few words. This is Lily Johnson. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, Shabija. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's Shema Lily. The Lily in that Johnson. Oh, yeah, okay, there. So ani asi bi da hun bi chini ka. Ko ani una jo bagi dun. She asad nani ya. Aro hun dishna. Haita ea. Od un chako ad nani ya. Ani shid aisi. Ya jo she huye. Konde. So be haini lenge ya ashe de dilse. Arishin ne dilse. Yaz konat ajki. Aronda. Kabzabi gide hon. Achna na pizza dahi kha. Le James bigide. Khud abe haati. Rahot ende pandil ta hojon. Doshi ba hojon git a hot zat amte. Digin ka de ones ingo e. Sata ye go ya hojon. Hala ya ashe go e. It's zini chanaz te. Kachin do chon ab hojon. Za what be. Ahata wata be hojon ya shekad e naga. Ko ekna. Oye wa English ma. Aro the should check Carla do Londa do Karen hotel ko. Ye what I know ani. Kaze holo. O chamba hoso. Now ran she do. So you have to see them do Hanas and Nico. The Hanas and Tigipe ate the Yego. Ale Bakosmizi Aroani had found the Skettle. The Conde Haze had found Skell Ohado Begay Street. Those out the baby angel told the London could end down at it etla. Shake as they pass sharp night or your heart and shadow at Lana Elfush. Honey, in it, being they put as they shade share. Karalso the Jaholni, the Celine, the Tris Nagahakin, the Kadai Siego. Koshma Adabania, Chuniazita illa Trump enough. Although Shamat Hayu the Lansomish Aro Ahueta Shank. Shake a lot of shin, but the Nadabanka. She bahas was Ani Shishima Hota, the Twatia, or showing on his bum. Didn't say Kushma Ajholo yo Shamans yo behind Francis kissed. Although Adole Sunda Patata she Be Yoko. Kept all of the Adashon Dusty. Not Darlena Lotasm. The hotel. Nema, then his. To the she meals, skis. You got say the os me, the conditati. Nahatas, and the side up in at this. Was here. What an honest. Oh, has it we are the hot feed of Mahala Hole. Nastazana Ka. Ya Ashko. So the deal. No Sabakaya, the hot feed the whole Nalonash. What end a Mahuzon gibt es in Kaha Shea eben jetzt Sebe o Heinschnido Shmashi Anne Deste und so. Aros Seldolati. Oh, Ede Heinschnko. Ich war hat an zu dachte. Weil noch so Kai do schon mit heute. Dann lehrt ist dann hat ist so. After right state that gave it hot on to bigger pneumonia the way that the Trump get hotni koya ota no identification here tam zo hata enoxi to shibaji la shimebe to it is asa ta be to pe hatol ni kala ko Carol to Amos to Carlet kon shema ya haliya yo ba hen edo hen session acha han te ho kweta han son ho se helan man no ba ta ho si ato khashin kon she hot out session kan cho nema ba ta ho si ato is ba hen khodo hate igen bistalon le
ayat eho sheya tlechinisha adot abatkhasha naso atale kita hall bekishlan le tsabikin lana nashislat ahosha rabatishin ato yatloni ahot enhalat ahashi she ahida kwe shagan abode ya kenji do yere ashen waliyesa ado pata ashen skiyo batolni le nana ran is side ako eshe kon ne redo ne che natla ado Carla do nana ho shalchunda no son ya kon ya she do na ki lego yashki kabza ebikeho ya shalchunen distre ado da ede rabat chimbelti ashki ako even Carla ajanana konedi Herman should adi Herman with the shit out of you na ya da de bi changing la le junior no na Herman ya hot out so hard see the one the head on the con Carla National Cosa Elizabeth at the Shisa Moki does the Ligedo Chingo Beda Hasuna Adon Sai Strada Tolia even eulogy Sheba has no Kandoka. Is it a Kagi or Bahatkis or Lish or less? Adon the Asian year that. So in now Yahagi, so it on the eta on the land and and the Yasona a call it our a Banson case, Bansata case and Hudson. A call it is so that not the Hagi say it's a bad new. Ado Biscando the more sleep with that. Ya in not art hate option not oka. Ya not as in the stone that I know. ako e nas na na dot o se git a te grande da doles ako ani o to sa se ako e ya so the rate o sa is brother-in-law Lee e da hanti sa na te menach ko na sa e ko Cornelia Leroy Cornelia na kibanach ko Leroy she hana na betro o na regon ha na hul kha de chuchra penego o ta ita o chusto gas na halo aju hanan snile so but it's just kidding hasni so no chusto gas na halo ban ses kisa ita e hot ali Cornelia beje a konde was behorzen ja et ani natsa was behorzen a ko is kana ina a ko e beslata hikra e hot esla a ko e ya she hait au she na no na khato lesion so ko e msia holen age e ya an hiben hita holli askisa the passage go beje kodne shede na ado pe ya trappa hadan lo list sidre shodi ke hatpo national hat ti ta tabna kho shmado shta ayena e ta chitlan hatna de ishal ado and the shje the passage da hikatan e ta chitlan ta jo khana akon the question says nige e kat hot e shen dot ihini hodona su e atlani ta jelena e do shishaga do na e da do lesno ye hat se skitings at ta na ho ne na hot out so there's kids anan tande e na yi na do ta again la de ko hada is lily nike ko de John 16:33 and that these things have I spoken unto you that in me ye might have peace in the world, the cosmic world. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. You know, he is the answer. Jesus, so there's that one niche. So hot out and hashes bears and do and that ani my gravesite message is going to come from John 11. It's related to all the feeling that everybody has when somebody passes away. So Ado on the day should out on it hatotsi. A ko be ha ni be ha yo nisi. Comfort ye. Jesus be holon. Romans 15:4 no kapzat. Be nahot lon. 2 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 4 to 7 that's otlan between the hot ediki yapanas ha yod nis na hotlan konlili nis hat shama na tsano hot out das kigo be ha na yod nis comfort lia when na hotlan do no yaski Okohon so up and yes that it's lash area doles. Ako he ako has your own so case. Ako in our jail ministries almost 3 days 6 to 8 benachai. So that's such a now opahadon. When they style they was now. Scott Franklin by understand it's in the other son. Oh, so my son is land his issue. A conde nana nada mona slane is a slad no. But I did last but the snow was western. Don't they rehab or yet only has in that sound. What you know, even a 6 to 8 year old can have enough wisdom to change their ways. So without even it's and not sent over that it's not trying that. So Billy, Billy was a wise man. So Daniel Sam. Billy Jr., Selena, Rachel, and Simon. That's it. But they said, "Hey, Naso in Nagi don't have a forgotten legacy that your dad left for you to take on." So I see Ben Quixote's in there. Ben Asana Kahlet. So illa a co il hot on Halanans. A co in now lie by Hayan, a better will at the con Karen J. Is a thyroid. A hot on Noya had she's thyroid or not, but no even medication. Not sure. On the cholesterol, the kidney, the orbit skeleton, no. Oh, that has ya. Oh, a Honzashi of cash. Or the Yinka, a Bajin Shito in a shane lagi. That had the Yashi. A eyes or less, a quarter or less. More get or less. So a hot ashi in Nadanti a coho 8 or a photo a here had I saw 8 or you had she a yard need a chunda it's Chinese ness get off. Out what it starts. Or they Satayash get out it or double nets, not the double, and then not. So Satan, no, you're too holy that I need us. You're still dead that I sneeze. it's not that, it's the Lord. What you think I am, you judge me that way. But I'm a servant of the Lord Jesus Christ. And that's the reason I am what I am. And so I hope you listen and make some wise decisions in your life.
Yeah, Karen J. I just want to say thank you to everybody who shared the stories about my dad and all the comfort words and advice and remembrance of, my dad. My older sister from Missouri just showed up and she said, thank you for everything. She said hi to everybody. Monica, who's in the meeting today, is the daughter of my oldest sister.
Joined the meeting.
She's my sister. She's my daughter, and they're in Missouri as well. So my sister was out here and she's gonna, go head off to bed. So she said thank you for, their support and, words of comfort. But she's here. And I just wanted to say some of the stories you guys shared, I didn't remember, like Selena in her cross country, sitting here laughing about her. And we came back and I remember we shared the story about one day we went running on the ridge and Selena went the wrong way. She got lost. And she went all the way back to Kayenta Crossroads on her own. And she made it back there before we got there. And we almost missed the late bus. And my dad thought it was the funniest story. He's like, so she does run fast. I said, yeah, she runs fast. But I remember that. And then I don't know if Rachel's in this meeting, but Muzz and I went to see my dad every day. And there was one day, there was a little stuffed heart right there that my daughter Turtle gave him. And, Muzz didn't know where it came from. And he asked her, where'd you get this? And he says, oh, Rachel came today and Rachel brought this for me. And it's like, oh, wow. But, he remembered a lot of you. And, he, remembered everybody and the way you guys are talking about him. And you just wanted to let each and every one of you know that he was in his thoughts. And, he probably thought about a lot more people, but didn't really talk too much. At the end, he lost his ability to walk, and his ability to talk after he was intubated. So it was a lot of body language and just body cues and, just understanding him because you see him every day. But it was difficult, but he was still happy in the end. But thank you to everybody who's here again and everybody who's, shared stories. And it's just like Manelli said, thank you for everybody that came to see her and the support, the outpouring support of the community. And I know that we left here almost 21 years ago with my dad, and he went to San Diego with us. And he was there for the entire, 4 or 5 years. And he came back to Phoenix, and we've been in Phoenix the whole time. And he raised my kids, and none of my kids never went to daycare. And, to him, I'm thankful that he was there for them. And everything they do today, they have a big part. He has a big part in what they do and the way they think, the way they carry themselves from day to day. And it's just like Nana said, he loved children. He loved all his grandchildren, whether they lived with him or not. And he always named, just different grandkids out of the blue. And he often wondered what they were doing, where they were at, how they were feeling. And, it wasn't just the same people. It was always different. And he thought about everybody. So, but thank you again.
I'll say something. I don't know if you can all hear me, but my name is Cornelia Begay, and I'm Carol Tallman Grass's daughter. I'm just thankful that he was in our lives. He was a very patient and gentle man. I don't think I've ever seen him upset or mad at anybody. All of my, as most of you know, my dad died when I was very young, and I didn't think I would get emotional, but all of my uncles, they helped my mom in raising us, and they, each one of them impacted me in some way. They had a big part in our lives, my brother and I.
Oh, okay. I can't hear anybody, but I just wanted to say that, or I was saying that all my uncles had a big impact in my brother and I's lives as we were growing up. And I'm thankful for all of them. But as for my Uncle Jack, I think one thing that stood out the most to me, or that I kind of picked up from him, was the love of books, reading. We lived in Flagstaff until I was about 6th grade, and then we moved back to Black Mesa and went to school from there. But at that time, my grandma didn't have electricity or anything like that, and we didn't have TV or just anything like that. So I just remember always going to his house to borrow books, or like those Archie digest books, just something for me to read like at night. And then my grandma and my mom used to get after me. They're like, why are you reading at night with very little light?
Join the meeting.
You're just like your Uncle Jack. They always said, "No, Toti," or something like that. But I just remember that was like my only way of like entertainment, I guess, to like in the evenings when there wasn't much to do. But I remember always going over there, and my Aunt Carolyn used to have like magazines. So too, so I would read those. And then later in high school, I just always liked to read all the time. I would check out like 4 or 5 books and then read them all over the weekend. Just because I like to read, and I know my uncle used to do that a lot too. But I think that's one thing I got from him was reading. But through the years we've been able to visit him and Karen J's family here and there whenever we can, and he was always happy to see us, and he would tease Bahi, my son Bahi. He would always tease him and say, "You stole my name." But he was just always happy. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him mad or anything like that. But always a joy to see him and talk to him. And just recently, when he was at the rehab center, my family and we went to visit him, and I was showing him videos of Bahojan playing the piano, and he took my phone away from me. He's all, "Wow." And he was just amazed at how well he was playing. And I mean, you could tell on his face. And I told him he's gone, telling him what he does, that he practices all the time, and he's gotten better, things like that. And then he was asking about the girls singing. So I had some videos of my daughter singing, so I showed him that too. And it seemed like he really enjoyed it. But I know we're gonna miss him a lot. But for me, I know I'll see him again. And I just pray for Karen J, Carla, Londa, Marlene, and Gerald and their families. I just pray that they get through this time, and that just praying that they trust the Lord. I don't know their hearts, but only God knows. But I'm just praying for them and their families. And we love all of you. And that's all. Thank you.
Just thought he had the Destiny Carla Chief Yin Xie. 是谁Jack Chief 都那去过呢那啥 ko he had the Destiny not 是谁 Paul he had he 这很难子都穿那Hinson 都 and there 好多手机 he had Aroshi Iskango Eya Nanisha the Holado the Mo Yashigoshin he Kaigo. Not Kada or Hika or Jaigi Eto at the head the Dashni get the Dashni saw not call Cornelia that's stay eat la or could a horn hitch on this to get down and I don't hear it. Zoom call has set up namely no hashish nana sto ba hota namely hoshe nail seho I see back here tata ya nan skilla ado tata hota ba ho ya nale she ya je she de yeshni ado hu da titash ado kot elena o yeshni hi hu bastatish ashne ko ehe dona Londa would like to say something. Here she is.
Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Londa. I just want to say thank you guys for all the donations and donations of food, even lending your help. Words of encouragement really means a lot. I was on my phone, but I had Nana's using my earbuds and she hung up on you guys. It's okay though. Carla's here. Yeah, but thank you guys for showing your support, and it's nice hearing stories, what you guys, the experiences you had with my dad. I really do miss him. I miss him a lot. I miss his hugs. I miss him saying, "Hey, Rhonda, how are you?" Or just giving me a hug. And it's just, you know, that little hugging and, you know, just like a little squeeze and a shake. It's, I miss his hugs the most. And the last couple of months was a routine, going to go see him every day, like clockwork. The first thing I wake up, the first thing on my mind is, okay, got to get up and go see Dad. Want to see Dad. That was my number one thing then. And after he left us, I felt lost. No routine. So it's just it's a void for me. Yeah, I'm okay. I feel fine most days, but one of these days I won't be. I don't think any of us will be okay. One of these days it's just gonna hit me like a freight train. And I've asked for help in prayer before, and those of you know who you are, and I appreciate that. And it's true, everything they say about my dad, you know, love his grandchildren. He loved them all the same. I think Turtle was his big baby. He loved her. I feel like he babied her the most. He spent the most time with her. They had a really tight bond. Yeah, I just thank you everybody for all your help, your prayer. That'll be it. Thank you.
So I just want to say a few things. Yibabahan na higibaya tashi. And Hogan, that's probably the first thing that came to my mind. And I heard about him. Builder for Hogan. Yoba, that was in there. The other thing that I really remember him about was when he went to school in Flagstaff. He was a smart person. And the classes he was so he was all the courses and the one of my sister and
About the memorial. But tomorrow we'll have to also go to the church and get the mic and all that set up, get the the area ready for Saturday as well. And tomorrow as well we'll have some work going on here that needs to be done as far as food. And Dolores says she'll be here tomorrow to check in and see what she has to work with, her and her sisters and sister-in-law. So that, thank you again.